Hello and welcome to the final Morrowind guide. Today I am covering Marksman builds. So, there's two races you want to look into if you want to do a pure Marksman build. That would be the Wood Elf, which is very much into that sort of sneaky assassin-y style archer. Has the highest bonus to Marksman. Although one thing you will find is that if you try to go down this sort of more physical route of being a sneaky, stealthy archer, maybe taking a bit of security and doing some thieving on the side, you're going to get gear checked, and you're going to get gear checked hard. Enchanted arrows can be very difficult to come by. Sometimes they're really easy. Sometimes every single dungeon you go into, there's like 50, 100 enchanted arrows that you can go and quite happily pick up and take with you. But most of your playthroughs, you're going to find you're going to get a certain point through, and you're not going to have those enchanted arrows. You need to deal with ghosts and scamps and other sort of creatures that are immune to normal weapons. So, the other race is the one I recommend, which is the Dark Elf. Now, it only has a +5 to Marksman. However, they get a +10 to Destruction and +5 to Mysticism, giving you two options there for damaging spells, either destruction spells or the absorb health from the Mysticism spell tree. You also get Ancestor Guardians, going to make it harder for enemies to hit you. Really great if you just want to sort of keep firing arrows into people at melee range and do that sort of point blank shot thing. And they got Resist Fire, which there is a lot of fire damage in the game, which is really useful. So, let's see what we've got hair wise. Do we have that in white? Yeah, that looks good. That'll do. So, let's move on.
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in.
We'll go through into...
Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
The class and build, I would suggest.
Yes. We've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
Okay, so to fill out a custom class, we're going to want to go with Stealth, because our two primary skills are on the Stealth tree, which is Marksman, which is governed by Agility, and I've lost it now, Light Armour, which is also governed by Agility. Now, if you want to get your Agility up a little quicker, and you're thinking of rather than using spells, you're going to go for a melee weapon, and get sort of an enchanted longsword, short sword, axe, mace, something like that, then you can go with block and one of those skills. Spear is also good, but obviously you won't get the shield. What I would recommend personally is going with Destruction, Mysticism, and Alteration. That's going to give you most of your utility spells and some damaging spells, as well as your sort of archery style stuff. Then for the minor skills, it really is kind of open. Personally, I'd take Security. You're going to get a buff to it anyway from Stealth, and it's a great way to get your intelligence up to help you cast those spells more frequently. Another one I'd go for is Illusion, and as a pair, Sneak. So this way you can chameleon yourself and then use the sneak skill to get the sneak attacks, to get the bonus crit damage, and so on and so forth. And finally, it's kind of dealer's choice at this point. Taking more utility stuff like, say, Mercantile or Speechcraft is handy. Again, you can take Restoration or Alchemy. Alchemy is great because it's going to help boost your intelligence as well, alongside Security. Enchant is another good one. I'm going to throw in no, not Short Blade. Let's see. It's got to be something better I can put in than a weapon skill. I'll go with Mercantile. We'll make money while we're doing this. Okay, and for your favoured attributes, you're definitely going to want Agility. Agility is a really great skill, attribute, because as I say, it's what Marksman and Light Armour are based off of. It's also determines how easy or difficult it is for people to hit you in combat. Also determines how easy it is for you to hit someone. And then what I'd probably take is willpower to get our spellcasting up. And then from there, what we'll do is quickly do this as an arcane archer. Can't type. And we'll move on to
Very
signs.
good. The letter that preceded
there's
you
a
mentioned
wide
you were
variety
born
you can
under a
use here.
certain sign. And what would that be?
So the obvious ones straight off the bat are the spellcasting ones: Apprentice, Atronach, Mage. The Lover's another good choice. It gives you improved agility. If you just want to sit and backpedal while you're firing arrows and keep your distance, then Speed is also useful. Again, you've got Tower if you want to open things on touch rather than using your security skill. Thief, 10 points of Sanctuary, not that great. You're going to have a better Sanctuary just from your class. The Lord, not particularly great. You're only going to have a 25% weakness to fire being a Dunmer, and the Restore Health is nice, but ideally I'd say I'd go with Lover for the agility and the Paralyze, or the Apprentice. So I'm going to... I think I'm going to go with more of a castery archer.
Now, before I stamp
Take
these
some extra
papers,
spell
make sure
points.
this information is correct.
And here we see Hoodin Rob. So I've got agility of 50, speed of 50, willpower and intelligence of 40, 100 magicka, so I'm going to be able to get those spells out when I need to. Personality's low, but that's natural being a Dunmer. And the only miscellaneous skill we have really that's over 10 is Short Blade. So we're not looking too bad. Illusion and Alchemy are only down at 15, but we can get those up pretty quickly just by spamming, say, a Charm spell, Frenzy, Chameleon. And again, Alchemy, we just start brewing potions as soon as we get the chance, and that's going to get us our skill up, so it's going to help get us our intelligence up. And we've got Marksman, Light Armor and Destruction, our core skills right here. And we start with the spell Shield, gives a bit more defense. Water Walking, always useful. Fire Bite, decent solid damage early on without us needing to worry about enchanted arrows. And Detect Creatures a bit meh. Okay, so moving on.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Okay,
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celes Gravius.
not going to skip until I'm outside. I am going to grab this ring. Morrowind duties.
Any time now.
First thing you're going to want to do is... Okay, so you can grab the key. You can also grab the plates and the drinks and all the other bits. But I'm going to grab the key. Drop it on the floor. And then he's going to forget about it.
Let's hear it.
Many of you have probably already seen this before on various people's different playthroughs.
Sorry, stranger. My time is short, so get on with it.
Have a ring. And then if you come in here, go up the stairs. And there is some armour in the chests and stuff. If you come all the way up here, hopefully the guard doesn't see me before I get this done. There are 250 arrows right there. And they're only iron arrows. They're not great.
Go ahead,
But-
stranger.
250 iron arrows right off the bat is going to
I
give
have a
you
feeling that
enough ammunition until you can start buying sort of steel arrows, glass arrows,
Any
bone
time.
arrows, silver arrows, and so on and so forth. And our next destination is going to be the glorious Pelagiad, or Pelagiad. Just going to head over the hills, take a bit of a shortcut. I better queue up a spell. Okay. And we're going to go and get ourselves a admittedly low level bow, but still a free bow. Nice and early in the game. This is one of my this is where I always get my bow from when I first start out playing. Although there are other options you can do. This one is by far the easiest and simplest, because at best you only have to kill a monk. And we all need to participate in the Great Mud Crab Holocaust. Because mud crabs aren't people. They're mud crabs. Right, so moving on. Just head over this hill. This will take us to Pelagiad, over there in the distance. And there's a bit you can loot in this town with security skills. If you want to go the other route via the little gap in the rocks over there, you can do. You may be able to avoid a fight. Sometimes there's a karma forager, sometimes there's a rat. Sometimes though there's a scrib, so you've got like a sort of a 1 in 3 chance that you'll be able to walk straight on through without getting attacked. Although personally,
Speak, traveller.
I think this way's slightly quicker. I haven't actually timed it. I'm not that, well, sad, to be honest. I'm not going to sit there and time how long it takes me to get from A to B. Just going to head straight on through into the main keep. Head along here to this far right hand door, and then just follow the whole thing round, making sure that the guard isn't following. He's not following, great. And then we come along, and there's a steel longbow just sat there for us, so we'll just equip that and equip the arrows. And as you can see, so we've got 1 to 25 attack on the bow, 1 to 3 on the arrows, so that's 1 to 28. And you can loot around here, and then he'll follow you up.
Go ahead, stranger.
If you time it right, you can then run back down. And if you're doing a heavy armor build, whether you're a marksman or otherwise, we've got Imperial Steel Cuirass and Pauldrons, Imperial Chain, Helm and Chest, Imperial Steel Boots and Gauntlets, and between that and Fort Moonmoth, going and looking at the same sort of corridory areas, you can actually get a full suit of Imperial Steel heavy armor. So, some of the quest lines you're going to want to do with this. Obviously, you've got the Mage's Guild quest line. You've got a few of the skills for the temple, and don't actually, I mean, you could work on your enchant another way, but you do have enough skills here that you could do the temple quest line, Mage Guild quest line, House Lari quest line, House Telvanni quest line, Thieves Guild quest line. You'd probably struggle to do Fighters Guild, House Redoran, and Marksman is also one of the skills for the Imperial Legion, so if you want to go that way, pick up some heavy armour and then train into heavy armour later in the game, that is very much a viable option. So this is a nice quick one. Isn't really much else to say. There are some great bows out there in the game. You can even pick up one by using the main quest line that has a on-use effect that allows you to fortify your marksman skill by 10 points. Also, it's an enchanted bow, so it is kind of useful. If you can get past the ghost guarding it, it's a good find. You don't then have to rely quite as much on your spells. Don't think there's anything else I really need to say. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. You know how YouTube works.